Has that really just happened?
Yeah, I think so.
You know that feeling when you're on the edge of starting something new, trying to decide if now's the right time to begin? Well, we were there, 17 with a love for filmmaking, dreaming about making our first real narrative film.
This is the story of how we wrote, produced, directed and edited Timepiece, a no-budget short film that went on to exceed our wildest dreams.
We'd spent the past year at college making a range of assignments,
But we were dreaming of doing something bigger.
and it was after getting home from our local film festival that things changed.
Those were amazing.
I know, right?
We have to make something like that. That was when we decided it was time to just start.
After the screening, I went home and started writing. Ideas came and went. First draft, feedback, adjustments. Second draft, change this. Third draft, more feedback. Fourth draft, new beginning. Fifth, change the end. Sixth, until finally there it was. I'd finished the script. Timepiece was born.
Now we had a script, it was time to make it real. We put out calls in a few acting Facebook groups. We needed to get as many eyes on it as possible. The self-tapes were amazing, but we narrowed them down to 3 people we wanted to take to an in-person audition.
Where would we host the auditions? We made calls but couldn't find a space anywhere. Luckily, a friend had access to a boat at the Bristol docks and she let us use it.
We held the audition in the boat and got to meet 3 really talented performers.
And the next day, me and Yuli watched back the tapes, had some long conversations, and soon it became clear that Imogen Symons should play our lead. Timepiece is set at a bus stop, so we started looking on Google Earth. Too old, too modern, too small, too big, weird. After a while we narrowed down a list and went out exploring.
The bus stop that we had planned to see was very disappointing. It wasn't going to work for the film. But before leaving, we decided to take a look at one more stop. So we walked down to the next stop on the road, and that's when we found it. The perfect bus stop.
I can't recall the date exactly, but it was one morning during production that a mysterious email came into my inbox, addressed from a man called Rufin Hawdon. After a bit of research, we discovered that he was a playwright and had been a famous actor in the 60s and 70s. Once we found this out, we rushed out to meet him and he couldn't have been any nicer. He offered to be in our film, and we had our grandfather. Next, we began storyboarding, imagining how we turn the script into a film. Pacing, emotion, how would it all fit together?
From this, we transferred into a shot list, thinking carefully about angles and frames. We'd use this later to make a schedule and plan how we were going to shoot the film. The shoot date was fast approaching now. I tested equipment, prepped gear, and made sure everything was ready. Final messages sent, final calls were made, until it was time.
We shot the film over 4 days, and I think the shoot is my favourite part of the filmmaking process. Just because getting to see something that's lived in your imagination for so long, coming to life on screen is such a magical experience.
Looking back now, there are so many things that we would have done differently, things you could call mistakes. But I think in some ways, the mistakes are what gives the film its character. Editing is where the story really begins to take shape. We gathered the scenes, shots, takes, weaving them together into a coherent story.
It's over these hours of making adjustments, cuts, re-edits, and sound design that you actually start to see the film come together. A few long days later, and finally, we had it.
So when we think back to how we made Timepiece, we see 2 naive teenagers who just decided to jump in and make their first short film.
And what felt like such a daunting task at the beginning ended up being one of the most life-changing things we've ever done.
We hope this video has given you some insight into what it takes to make a no-budget short film.
And if you're thinking about diving in and making your first, just do it.